Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. Today I want to give you guys kind of like an accidental build that I realized was real good. It is a Blood Gem Factory. It's not like that new, but it's a card you very rarely see past the first few turns. It is the Scrapsmith. Bristleback Scrapsmith, I think it's called. It's a Tavern 3 Quillbore, where if one of your minion with taunt dies in combat, you get a blood gem. And if you have lots of minions with taunt, you get lots of blood gems. That's kind of the idea. And it's a pretty terrible card, but there is one exception, but it's a big exception, and that has to do with the token death rattle builds having taunt. We're talking about Greybow, or in the case, I believe this is a Sir Finley Greybow game, and you can just get tons and tons of taunts and essentially have a blood gem factory happening. It is quite amazing to see because even if these builds look like they're going nowhere, well, you still get a lot of stats and they still perform pretty well. So it's one of those niche situations, but it's important to be aware of it. And I hope this video does it justice. You bet I got paid to say that. I mean, they're literally my sponsor. But, I mean, they do make fantastic products, of course. And with iBuyPower, they've asked us to do like a shout out a month. So, you know, I try to be informative. There's literally no script or talking points or anything like that. We just give our take and find a day where they have a deal happening most of the time. And they usually do have some deals happening at least on one occasion each month, so that makes it very easy. No Murlocs in this one. We do have mechs. Sprout it. But yeah, I used to, before I did streaming, I used to work at a computer store here in Canada land. And it was regular practice that for like the holiday season or the like Black Friday, that type of stuff, that you would lose money on your, like, the deals you'd advertise. Like, zero profit or negative profit. Now, you know, I don't work at iBuyPower pricing things, so I don't know that for a fact, but it is the case that for the big deal days, you are usually getting very good deals, about as good as you can get for what you're buying. So it is a good idea to check out if you're on the market. Like, you know, if you have a brand new computer, obviously you probably don't need another one. But yeah, if you are on the market for a computer and you can time it, this is where you want to time it for.
Keep it up, your minions are dependent on you. I knew you could do it.
I do like the scout, but I will be losing if I pick it. Let's just play a winning board. That's a nice one too. How do you know which deals are good?
See what happens when you dress for success?
Usually the advertised ones are the better deals. They're kind of like the eye-catcher deals. I mean, yeah, you could do big time research and figure that out. If you really want to min-max it, sure.
You'll get 'em next.
Dude just left, so there's no damage cap on this one. That's quite unfortunate. Lamps is actually kind of nuts.
You deserve better. Here, have a gold. It may not be the most powerful minion on the field, but it's brave.
And I will go for the double. You built your PC last year following step-by-step guide on YouTube, and when you screw your cooling for the CPU too hard from one side, you almost died inside. Well, okay. So this is not like I buy power shout out. This is something I've repeated a few times. So I worked as a computer technician. I built thousands of computer systems in my lifetime. So computer parts, if you get them at like a local store, they're gonna be pretty good, and if you put it all together, it's probably gonna be fine. And it's really easy to put something together, and if nothing is defective, generally it doesn't take a lot to build your own system. However, if something is defective, it can be somewhat simple to figure out what, but it might not be. Like if you have some issue on your motherboard, it can be really tricky to figure it out, for example. And that's where the experience comes into play. If you are getting like computer components shipped from far away individually, you do run the risk. Like if you go to, you know, online retailers and you see their reviews, you'll see like there's no 5-star review motherboard on the planet for online retailers. But I can tell you from personal experience, there are a good number of motherboard brands that are actually very rarely defective. Like we're talking, you know, 1 in 50 has any form of defect. And those same motherboards are like 3 out of 5 stars with online retail. That's because if you ship a motherboard and you don't take care of the package, well, yeah, it can very easily get damaged. iBuyPower has like a foam insert, and they have like at least a double box with foam in between the boxes. So iBuyPower, we never actually had any shipping damage. So it's actually quite above standard if you get a whole system from them specifically. I can't speak for other companies. And yeah, you don't have to worry about if something goes wrong if you're not experienced. But also, someone like me who is experienced, I'll be honest, I'm just not bothered to make my own systems anymore. iBuyPower does a really good job. Their cable management is top-notch. They have like sound dampening, you know, extras that they can put on the panels. So it's kind of like above what I'd even bother doing for myself. So I'm kind of done making systems as someone who's made them. So you can take that for what it is. One in 50 is quite bad. 2% error rate would not be acceptable at any production line.
You did amazing out there.
Well, these Quillboards are actually really good. I am gonna go for that.
Is there anything more beautiful than this?
So you'd be right. 2% error rate, but we're talking about like the most sensitive components. And even the ones that we had, they were just like when you work at like, you know, a computer store that gets shipments, they still come on like a truck. Yeah, it's not like some, you know, dickhead like FedEx dude trying to play, you know, basketball with your mailbox or anything like that. But the components still travel quite a distance. And even if you get it like straight from the manufacturer, there's not that much protection for a motherboard inside the normal motherboard box. At least this was the case 10 years ago. Maybe this has improved. Like it does move around in there. So yeah, motherboards are particularly sensitive to shipping in my experience. But again, rarely like, you know, 2% I would say would be about it for any defective components on a motherboard. And there's a lot of components to a motherboard. Like a motherboard can work totally fine and you wouldn't even know it. It could be like the bottom PCIe slot doesn't work properly. It doesn't have the full bandwidth, right? So like there's people have defective motherboards. They don't know are defective, is what I'm trying to say. But when you build a computer, you have to test these things. At least to a reasonable level. And another big one was hard drives. Hard drives. So I'm just talking about like components that have a discrepancy between what I see in online reviews and my experience working in a computer store that didn't have components shipped individually through the post system. Okay, and the main discrepancies were in hard drives and motherboards. Most motherboards are fine, the ones that I built across many different brands, and the same for hard drives. But yeah, if you go to like, you know, retailers that sell individual components and you see their reviews, there's almost none of them that have like full 5 stars on motherboards or hard drives. It just doesn't happen. What are we doing here? I think we're trying to build Mexicam build, so... Oh, okay.
Important job gets special bomb.
Let's do that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So should be fine here. You can imagine 1 in 50 systems built needing a motherboard replacement. That includes taking it in and putting it inside a machine. So again, I don't know what like other companies do, but when I would build systems, what I would do is assemble the motherboard, the CPU, and the RAM, and I'd hook up like a remote USB drive to do like a base systems check, and I would leave that for like a day. And if it had any errors, then I'd investigate. I wouldn't put it in a case. You can turn on a motherboard by using like any metal device to link the power pins on the bottom of the board. So, and if the motherboard, the CPU, and the memory is all good and tested for a whole day, the rest of the stuff is really easy to replace. Like if you have an issue with the hard drives, it's really easy to replace a hard drive. So yeah, if that stuff passes, then I put it in a case. That's how I did things. So it wasn't really a hassle. If something defected, just return it. It's not a big deal. RAM wasn't quite reliable. It wasn't too bad in my experience. But again, my experience is from like 11 years ago. So take it for what it is. Whoa, okay. I don't know if I want to make the tunnel blaster huge, but maybe I can and offload them to a Baron later, because I gotta do something with these, right? Paper clip or a fork? Yeah, I use a screwdriver. Basically, the motherboard pins are kind of like at the bottom. They usually have like an insert, and if like that's how the power button on a case works. It completes the circuit between 2 pins that are beside each other. So if you have the bare motherboard and you just put anything metal to complete the circuit, you can turn on a system without any like case or anything. I only need pairs for the quest. Yeah, that quest is pretty far away though.
Keep it up. Your minions are dependent on you. Found the best minions to fight by your side.
Ha ha! I love catching some waves.
Shines like a gem. Hire one of those minions to join our team.
Okay. No Khadgar? Nah. Tide Mistress is pretty good there. I thought about it. Yeah, weather's pretty rough right now. 50-50 here. Now I shouldn't need to level to 6. That's a big advantage here.
Amazing out there.
She sells seashells.
Okay.
For justice.
Two is company.
Nothing scares me. Except mine.
Why, of course I can take that one in. Here's a gold for it. See what happens when you dress for success?
Okay. Really?
Here's some new recruits. They'll give your team that extra bit of magic.
Important job gets special bomb. Taste defeat, stranger. Who are you calling short?
Bury the bones. Lost in the past.
So that will hit for 12. Wait, that's actually kind of bad. Huh. Okay.
Keep it up. Your minions are dependent on you.
Yeah, I need Kangor and another Baron.
I knew you could do it. Go hire one of those minions to join our team.
Right. Well, hopefully it works. We're very close to it. A lot of barons taken. You mean one, maybe two? It's not that many. I also don't need a golden baron. I just need one Kangor. One Kangor would be enough
Keep it
here.
up. Your minions are dependent on you.
Pretty unlucky.
Minions to fight by your side.
The scourge will consume you.
Yeah, there's no point in that, is there?
By fate or fortune.
Guy's winning, but he is playing a mech build, so I don't really want to move the selfless, no. I lose a shield, but instead I guarantee it on two minions that are bigger.
Unstoppable.
One of which is much bigger. It's really bad, actually. Point one to lose. I was on track, by the way.
I knew you could do it.
Yeah, I mean in this case, sure. Because with triple we can switch the positioning.
Magical things come in small packages. There's some good new recruits here. Don't let them get away.
Well, this guy has one non-golden Kangor, and this guy doesn't have Kangor.
It's always
And I'm pretty sure Maleficent is going to kill him, so... One Kangor is almost certainly going to give me the win. Two Kangors, actually it had to be three Kangors. Yeah, that's kind of tough. Three Kangors, oof. Okay, three Kangors, it's an unbeatable build. But I'm probably not getting three Kangors.
Winning looks. in that battle.
Actually, another selfless might be decent in the meantime. Okay. It's turn 15. I've been forcing this build the entire time, and I never needed to level to 6. And yet, with only one other player having a single Kangor that is now dead, I should add. Nope. I think we did see a brand earlier. Yeah, I've experienced this a ton lately. I don't know. Kangor is now tier 6. Yeah, maybe it is.
See what happens when you
It's not that bad a build because of the little 1/1 buffs. I think this has a chance to win, actually. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. The shields really go a long way. Not bad. I did need a good adaptation, which I got. Come on. I would have bought a selfless even. Does leveling to 6 make sense? I don't know. Good thing White Mane is out. Yeah. Manted out of bomb range. Yeah, maybe. That guy had a temporary shield on Mithrax, by the way. So he's gonna be weaker here.
Look for you.
This is a little harder to win, but I think we're still in pretty okay shape. So Eliza protects against cleave, and it's a minion type I don't have. If I get Kangor, this build is like 10 times stronger. So in my opinion, it's not worth frivolously replacing cards when they're okay. Damn. Still only 47 to die, but we died. Like, literally one Kangor in that lobby is a complete wipe out. Turn 16. Are you kidding me, man? Oh, that sucks.